And hello and welcome everyone to another edition of the Daily 8 here on the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Penarski bringing you the top 8 stories of the day. We'll of course be giving you a look at your forecast for the day, but we'll also look at a proposed new tax that people in Kent County will have the chance to vote on next month. And then we'll also take you for an inside look at the iconic Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. That's all coming up. But first, let's take us to our first story that brings us to southwestern Michigan, the southwestern part of the state. You may remember back on May 7th, a string of storms and tornadoes ravaged the area, leaving lots of damage in Branch, Kalamazoo, Cass, and St. Joseph counties. Well, Governor Gretchen Whitmer applied for a major disaster declaration from the Federal Management Agency, or FEMA, to try and get some federal funds to help clean up from the storms. Well, on Tuesday, FEMA actually denied that request. That means places like the city of Portage, who were hit the hardest, will have to rely on other ways to help pay for all of the damage. The state does have 30 days to appeal this decision if they so choose. And now for a story we teased yesterday on the Daily 8, but you can now find the full story on woodtv.com. The Michigan Supreme Court overturned the conviction of a man found guilty of fleeing from Kalamazoo police officers in 2019. The man was visiting his girlfriend at her apartment complex when police in the area started questioning him. He left the scene and was charged with fleeing and eluding and also resisting arrest. The Supreme Court overturned that conviction, saying the police had no reason to suspect him of any wrongdoing by just being in the area. Civil rights attorneys say that this case will likely change how law enforcement polices areas of high crime. And News 8 is your local election headquarters, and this next story is all about one item that will be on your August 6th ballot if you live in Kent County. Voters will decide to implement an increase on Kent County's hotel tax. The idea is to raise the taxes added on to hotel stays here in the county, and the funds from that additional increase will go towards paying for new developments like the amphitheater in Grand Rapids. Opponents of the tax say that this will inadvertently impact the homeless population in the city who use hotels frequently. The tax increase would go from the current 5% to 8%. And now for a story that we have been working on that you can find right now on woodtv.com. Let's send it over now to our very own David Horak.
Michigan state law currently requires any business that grows, processes, transports, or sells marijuana to have multiple licenses. But there are a couple of bills in Lansing that would consolidate all of that if passed, and that has bipartisan support. Details on them from one of the authors and reaction from a local dispensary are all at woodtv.com.
All right, thanks, David. And we head out west for this next story, and you've probably seen this viral video by now. This is at Yellowstone National Park, and you can see an explosion from the ground that happened Tuesday morning, and it sent visitors scurrying out of the way. Officials said that this was a hydrothermal explosion, which some of them can actually spew boiling hot water, steam, mud, and even rocks a mile into the air. Officials, though, did say that these are quite common in the park and that this one didn't seem out of the ordinary. No injuries were reported in this incident, thankfully, and officials said that this does not reflect any change in the volcanic activity in the area. And we head back to West Michigan now as the Whitecaps and the Kent County Salvation Army have teamed up to give you the chance to check out this Thursday's game at LMCU Ballpark for just $2. The Salvation Army is trying to get a jump start on its toy collections for the holiday season, so if you bring in a new board game, an action figure, a puzzle, and donate it to one of the angel trees they have set up, you will actually get the discounted tickets. There will be bins at the stadium for you to drop off your item, and then you can head on over to the box office and purchase those discounted tickets. Hopefully the weather does shape up for Thursday's game tomorrow night, and we actually can now take a look at the forecast. Let's send it over now to Storm Team 8 meteorologist Scott Larson.
Officially, Grand Rapids received 0.03 of an inch of rain overnight. You can see that there were some more showers sliding along I-94 this morning. A lot of that has now made its exit. As we go through the afternoon, we'll have a trend toward gradual clearing with just a couple of isolated spotty showers out there. Temperatures look to be a touch on the cooler side today in the middle to upper 70s. A high temperature of 78 is favored for Grand Rapids, 76 in Holland, and 78 degrees in Battle Creek. A very pleasant pattern coming our way.
All right, thanks, Scott. And let's end today's show with a tour, as I mentioned, of the iconic Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. You may see this hot dog-shaped car driving all around the country, but it actually made a stop yesterday in Grand Rapids at the downtown market for their Meet the Machines event. We got the chance to look inside the vehicle, and I got to say, it's a lot more spacious inside than I thought it would be. You could see it all for yourself right now. Just head on over to woodtv.com. And coming up later today on the Live Desk, we'll be speaking with comedian Jeff Allen before his stop in Grand Rapids next month. Allen will be joining me for a fun conversation at 2 p.m. today. We hope you tune in for that, but if not, we will see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Daily 8. Thanks, everyone, for sticking around today. I'm Phil Penarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.